the FAA is investigating a close call in the skies over Washington, D.C. That near miss on Tuesday involved 3 jetliners.
Officials say they were on a collision course until air traffic controllers realized they had made a mistake. Bob Orr is at Washington Reagan National Airport where it all happened. Bob, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Gail, and to Charlie. You know, planes using the same runway always take off and land in the same direction to avoid any kind of mid-air potential collisions. But in this case, a very bad mistake was made and 2 planes took off directly into oncoming traffic. It was just after 2 p.m. Tuesday when a U.S. Airways regional jet was approaching Reagan National Airport. A storm had caused the wind to shift. And because of that, controllers were in the process of changing the direction of all takeoffs and landings. But there was some kind of miscommunication. Officials say 2 planes were cleared and took off directly into the path of the inbound flight. The first departing plane closed to within 1.5 miles and just seconds of the arriving plane. The second outbound jet was just 1 mile behind. Controllers quickly told the inbound plane to turn.
Turn right, heading 180.
We were cleared the river back there. What happened?
We're trying to figure this out too. Stand by.
Mark Rosenker is the former chairman of the NTSB.
We're talking about people here who do this every day. They're very, very good. They are highly professional. So where was the breakdown in procedure? We have to understand where it was so that we can make sure it doesn't happen again.
Now, we are told that all 3 of the planes involved were regional partners of U.S. Airways. The small commuter jets carry 50 to 100 people or so. All the planes, they held 192 passengers and crew, made it to the destination safely, so that's fine. But this was a serious breakdown, and the FAA really wants to know what went wrong, Charlie.
That's a question that I was thinking about, Bob, as we were looking at this, is why is this the more troubling than most incidents that have happened at Reagan and other airports?
Well, I think because this is so fundamental. You know, this is not an unusual procedure. Every day as weather patterns change, as the wind changes, airports do what they call turn the runways around, and the traffic is directed, instead of going all to the north, it, for example, goes all to the south. This is an everyday basic fundamental procedure. How someone could make a mistake in something this fundamental is really perplexing, and that's why they have to take a very, very hard look at this.
And what is likely to change? Any indication of what they think immediately must change while they investigate?
Well, I mean, for one thing, I think for one thing, they've got to find out why all the controllers weren't on the same page. There have been some high-profile incidents, as you mentioned, of controllers showing inattention, some sleeping in towers. And the FAA and the Department of Transportation really cracked down on this. But this now comes as a very, very serious breakdown. This was not a disaster, but it's only because, in the end, a controller paying attention finally, and a pilot, they did all the right things in the right moment. But this was closer than it ever should have been, Charlie.
Bob, thank you so much. Bob Orr in Washington.